Oh, hello. Good evening. It is a Friday. My name is Richard. This is Whatever the Weather, the Arsenal Women's Channel. This is, of course, Richard and Andreas Talk, AWFC. And let's be honest, it hasn't been another bad week, has it? We've got to be fair about that. We will look back, of course, on the big win over West Ham last weekend. We'll look back on what proves to be a very impressive victory over Chelsea in the Champions League in midweek. There is also, of course, another big week coming, isn't it? The North London derby tomorrow at the Emirates. We're going to look forward to that. And, of course, the second leg of the Champions League quarter-final against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. Wow, what a time of the season this is. Also, as well, of course, there is the small matter, or is it a little matter, of a new contract to discuss as well. All that is coming up after this.
Not working very well. It's not working. I can't hear you. You're frozen, Richard.
So we are back, and it's Andreas live from his hotel room, we believe, in London. How are you doing, mate? Good to see you. How are you?
Yeah, good evening, everybody. I'm feeling fine, yeah. And I should ask you, how are you? I read that you are injured during running.
Yes, I've had a bit of a bad week. I did get an injury, picked up an injury during the week. I've just been for physio, actually. I've just got back about 10 minutes ago. So not looking as bad as I thought it may have done. So I just need a bit of rest, really. But yeah, I'll be fine, I'm sure. Back running again very, very soon, hopefully. But which is good news, isn't it? But yes, I mean, it's been a good week again, hasn't it? And it's been a busy week for you, hasn't it? Flying over there to London, and you're midway through your big stay, aren't you?
It's a very bad connection. I nearly can't hear you. There's an echo, etc. So maybe I'm trying to come in again.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe
Is it okay?
try that in. Yeah. Try that.
Yeah, I try again.
Okay. So Andreas having a few problems there trying to connect. He is in his hotel, of course, in London, and we know some problems that that can lead to. I've had a few issues when I've been away as well, trying to go live. It can be tough if the internet signal isn't always as strong as it needs to be. Unfortunately, you do need quite a strong signal, don't you, to do these shows. On the move with us says, good evening, Richard and Andreas. Good evening, my friend. Good to see you. John is with us as well. Good to see you, John, as well. Obviously, enjoyed the game the other night, like we all did, and we will, of course, be discussing that a bit later as well. We'll give Andreas a couple of seconds to see if he can get himself back in again. I'm sure he will. I'm not quite sure what's going on there. I'm assuming you guys can hear me okay. It's just obviously Andreas is having a few issues there with his internet, because I know what they can be like in hotels. They're not always the best, are they? But anyway, we will make the most of it. We'll make the best of it. We'll do the best that we can to get Andreas in the show. We'll obviously do the show anyway. If Andreas can join us, it'll be even better, won't it? I did want to, maybe before we actually get into the main show, there is something I do want to talk about first, and that is, of course, some big news coming out of the club today about the captain. So, yes, of course, Captain Kimmy has been signed a new one-year contract. So she'll be staying for next season as well. I think maybe a few months ago, I don't think I'd have been particularly happy about this decision, if I'm honest. I felt that she was maybe on her final legs with Arsenal on her way out. But it does seem as though she's turned that around, and she's been fantastic this season. So the fact that she's now got this new contract, I think is a good sign. Will she play as regularly next season? I guess her fitness is going to decide that for us. But I think it's good that she's going to be with us with the team, with the group. I think she's an important figure to have there, isn't she? So it's good news that she signed this new contract. And obviously, if she keeps playing the way she has been playing this season, then, I mean, wow, we'll be more than happy, won't we, for her to stay even longer than next season. But yeah, I'd say a few months ago, I wouldn't have wanted to hear this news, really. I'd have thought it was time we started to move away from some of these older players and look to, get the younger squad in to rebuild the squad. Whereas but now the way Kim's been playing, it's almost like we can't be without her. We can't almost live without her, can we? So it's good news. So congratulations to Kim, as John says there. She's a legend indeed. And yeah, we're going to have at least another year of Kimmy, which is good news, isn't it? Now, can Andreas hear us now? Let's have a look.
It's not working. Oh, no.
His picture's gone. Oh dear. That's a bit of a disaster, isn't it? I don't know what's happening there. We'll see if we can get. We'll see if Andreas can sort his issues out, because we do want Andreas on the show, especially this week, because it's been really, really good. On the move says Kim Little has reinvented herself over the last matches. Yeah, I mean, I think this season, and maybe last season to a certain degree, she maybe played a slightly deeper role than she used to. Obviously, earlier on in her career, she was getting forward, scoring lots of goals, and that's sort of changed. And I think maybe there were spells maybe earlier this season, last season, where she maybe wasn't quite 100% fit. And I feel that obviously with Andreas has gone again. We'll see if we can get him back. Obviously, when she's back to full fitness, as she has been most of this season now, her form's fantastic. I mean, you can't knock her at all, can you? Greg says there, it's good as she signed as part-time player next year, but I'd rather hear Fox and Williamson. So yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, the way Kim Little's playing, I'm pleased she signed, and if it means she'll only play bits and pieces next season, then fine. If we've got better players to replace her, absolutely. But yeah, of course, I'm sure we'll hear some more contract news later on as the season progresses. We get towards the end of the season, the transfer window and stuff. But it's good news at Kim's side. I'm happy. So well done to Kim, and keep playing the way you are at the minute. And there's no problems at all. You've been fantastic, and helping us obviously get this really good run of form. So obviously what we will do is we'll go back to last weekend. We'll see if Andreas can get back in. And what we'll do is we'll go back, of course, to last weekend and what turned out to be a very good victory. Now, of course, it was always going to be a game that we were favourites to win. You know, West Ham fighting for their lives at the bottom of the table, and they'd had a decent result, of course, the previous week. But I always felt we were going to win this game. I wasn't maybe expecting 5-0. Let's be honest, with some of the chances that we had, we could have won this game a lot more than 5-0. We could have got double figures, really, couldn't we? Some of the chances that we missed, especially in the first half. But in the end, we won the game comfortably. It was a good performance, I thought. Obviously, we dominated the game. We created lots of chances. Maybe wasn't clinical enough, which was a worry at the time, but maybe not quite so much now. Top Shelf says, Kim, what a player indeed. Let's have a look. Ryan says, hang on, what's going on here? Have I missed some? Anyway, we've missed some comments, but Greg says there, don't you think we've been playing better the last few games without the Aussies? Well, actually, we'll talk about that, yeah, because obviously well, two of them are going to be coming back. But I mean, the West Ham game, I thought, you know, we started well, didn't we? We got the early goal, and of course, there is maybe some debate as to who scored it. Initially, it was given to Stina, who looked as though she had got the touch at the near post to flip the ball into the far corner from Chloe Kelly's cross. Then, of course, later on, we were hearing, or I started hearing stuff, Chloe Kelly scored a hat-trick. I'm thinking, no, she didn't. She got 2 goals in the second half. Anyway, it seems like that first goal, maybe Stina didn't touch it. I don't know. I haven't heard what Stina made of it, whether Stina's come out and said she did or she didn't. I want to give the goal to Stina anyway, obviously. But it doesn't matter in the end, does it? The first goal is always vital. And the only downside from that first half after that first goal was the fact we didn't score 2 or 3 more in that first half, because we should have done. You know, the West Ham goalkeeper played well, made some good saves. But of course, in the end, our quality showed, and you know, maybe West Ham got a bit tired in the second half, didn't they? Made some mistakes, and we capitalised on them. And in the end, of course, we won 5-0. Really, really good, solid performance from start to finish. Really, we were never really in any danger in that game. You wouldn't imagine that we were going to be against West Ham, who are second from bottom in the league, but it was a really good performance, an important victory as well. We look at, you know, Chelsea dropped points as well, didn't they, at the weekend? Greg says, I thought we went in from Kelly. Yeah, well, you would say that, wouldn't you? But no, I mean, it looked like, didn't it, that Stina got the touch. I don't know. See if we can get Andreas back in. Is it working now? Are you working now, Andreas?
I can see you, but it's a very bad connection. I nearly can't understand you. You sound like and no.
It sounds like it's maybe the internet signal there isn't strong enough to hold the the show. So it's gone again. It's gone again. I think we may have to, unfortunately, accept the fact that Andreas may not be able to join us for the show tonight. But anyway, if we can get him back in, obviously we will. But yeah, I mean, it was a really good performance, well, I say, especially when you look at Chelsea dropping points as well. Suddenly their top 3 places looking in danger, isn't it? You know, we were worried about ours a little while ago, but now the run we're on, suddenly it's Chelsea looking shaky, isn't it? On the move says, I like Leslie Russo's philosophy. It doesn't matter who scores as long as we win. No, exactly. You know, that's true. As long as someone scores, it doesn't really matter, does it? Let's be honest. I mean, I'm sure Stina would like the goal. But as it's turned out, if it's a hat trick for Chloe Kelly, then fair enough. You know, she's playing well at the minute. But I thought it was a good game, wasn't it? It was a good performance. Obviously, a big win in the end, which is always nice. And I thought that was a performance that maybe we needed as well. You know, I thought the London Lionesses' performance the week before was okay. We got the win, and it was a professional performance. But this one was more like the sort of performance that you can see the form that we're in and the progression. Of course, it was the perfect game, wasn't it, to build us up to the big game that we had in the Champions League, which we'll talk about in a minute. But no, I thought the West Ham game was good. The performance was good, and yeah, you know, 5-0 looks a nice, comfortable score, doesn't it? But you know, yeah, it could have been, maybe should have been a few more, but we'll take that, won't we? Greg says that's because Andreas is in a dodgy area near Finsbury Park. Yeah, that's true. Actually, that is probably true. Yeah, I must admit, we stayed in Holloway Road, between sort of the Emirates and Finsbury Park, and that wasn't the best for signal either. Actually, Raya says Kelly made sure it went in on Tuesday. Yeah, she did. We'll talk about that in a minute. But yeah, I say it doesn't matter who scored that goal, really, does it? Let's be honest. It was an important goal because particularly, I think when we're at the Emirates against a team that you know isn't going to come and attack you, that's going to sit back, it's important to get an early goal, isn't it? Because that opens the game up. And that's kind of what happened, really. You know, West Ham obviously are struggling, and they didn't really cause us too many problems, did they? Let's be honest. And another clean sheet in the WSL and another good victory, and keeps us in such a strong position. And I know that maybe we've been written off for the title, haven't we? But you know, when you look at you know, Man City are away at Man United this weekend in their derby game, and should Man United win, if we can win our game, suddenly that gap's a lot closer. We've got these games in hand, which yes, we have to win them, but suddenly we could put some pressure on, couldn't we? But anyway, I'm not going to worry too much about what other teams are doing. I'm trying to focus on what we're doing, and at the minute, we can't have too many complaints because we're playing well. We're getting the results that we need, and we're looking like, I said it on the watch on the other night, we're looking like a good team. You know, an actual solid team. We look difficult to break down. We look a lot stronger in midfield than we have done in earlier in the season in particular. And obviously we've got goals in this team. We know that. Look at the forward players that we've got. When it clicks, it clicks. Greg said Stina and Russo are playing so well together. They look world class. No, I agree. I mean, I think that there's been times when it maybe hasn't worked. I think when they've both played maybe as a striker, we've had 2 strikers. They've made similar runs and maybe they've not worked. But now Leslie's playing deeper. It's almost perfect. It's almost the perfect combination, isn't it? I do feel as though when we've got more players fit again, I don't think Stina will be starting in the way that she has been with Russo deeper. I think Russo is still the first choice number 9. And I think with everybody fit, that's where she'll be, and Stina will be back playing her super sub role. But what Stina has proven is that when she comes into the team, when she starts games, she's likely to score a goal or 2. You know, and there's not many teams that have technically a backup striker that's as good as Stina. And I've said this plenty of times before, and we saw it again on Tuesday night. So yeah, I mean, ideally, I agree with you, Greg. I'd like to see them playing together with Leslie just behind. She can influence the play a lot more. And Stina, you know, she's that in the box player, isn't she? When you get crosses in, when you put balls into the box, she can run in behind and she offers that threat. And I think together between them, it's perfect. It's the perfect combination. But yeah, let's see. I mean, maybe now Renee's realising that, and maybe she's going to start playing them together more, even when everybody else is fit again. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But at the moment, it's been working well. I agree, and I like to see it, and hopefully we'll see it a bit more this coming week as well. And let's see if we can get Andreas back in again. He's back with us again.
Yeah,
I think really better.
The connection is now really good. I can hear you, I can see you, and let's hope that it stays.
Ah, good stuff. That's what we need to see. Right, okay. Looks like Andreas has sorted out them problems there in London, which is good to see. Good to see. So, obviously we're talking about the West Ham game. I mean, obviously you were there. The vlog was great. What did you make of the performance? Because it was, never in doubt the result, really, was it, from that early goal onwards?
Yeah, over the 90 minutes, it was a fantastic game, a great performance. I mean, at halftime, we should have been 4-0 up, so many chances. And I said it in my comment in the vlog. Somebody has to tell the girls that the goal is not up in the air; it's standing on the ground. They were all the shoots were too high, and so many chances. I think we hit the crossbar, and Stemic, the West Ham goalkeeper, made a few very good saves. But yeah, if you're only 1-0 up at halftime, this is a game that it's a dangerous result. And therefore, it was very important to score early in the second half. I think it was 1 or 2 minutes in the second half when Leslie made the 2-0, and then there was a big relief in the team, and you could see that they were playing with more free and free floating, and everybody knew West Ham will not score 2 goals. And with the third goal, it was all over, and it was only a question how many goals we will score. And yeah, it was a very good performance. We dominated them. And don't forget, they had kept a clean sheet against Man United 3 days before. So yeah, it's not that you say, oh, it was very, very easy. No, it was a very good performance from us. We only had one thing to criticize, that is when you are so dominating and create so many chances, you must score more goals in the first half. But second half was nearly perfect. We could rest players, we could make subs early, and yeah, it was perfect for us. Great result. I think it was the highest score this season. Yeah, fantastic game, and would have deserved more than 24,000, or was it 28,000? But anyway, it was the perfect warm up for the Champions League game.
It was, yeah. You're right. It was a good performance. Who do you think got that first goal then?
It was difficult to see from my perspective. I thought that it was a cross, and it looked as if Stina had her foot on the ball, but the announcer said only 1-0 to the Arsenal. He didn't say a goal scorer for the Arsenal was, so nobody was sure. And after the game, it looks as if Stina said, I haven't touched the ball, therefore it was given to Chloe. Anyway, I think Stina has scored a lot of goals this season, and for Chloe, a hat trick is just fantastic for being back from injury after such a long time, and yeah, therefore give the goal to Chloe and let her be happy with a hat trick.
Yeah, I get the feeling that had Chloe not scored 2 goals in the second half, I think Stina would have been quite happy to have claimed that goal. But maybe because it meant Chloe Kelly get a hat trick or not getting a hat trick, I think in the end, you know what, let Chloe Kelly have a hat trick. That's fine. And like you said, Stina scored a lot of goals. I haven't seen a definitive angle of it, but every time I see it, I'm convinced that Stina's got a touch on it and it's knocked it in the goal. But anyway, we'll give it to Chloe Kelly if that's the way it is, and that's fine. And a hat trick for her. But yeah, it doesn't matter in the overall scheme of things. But it was a talking point, I thought, because it was announced at the beginning that it was Stina. I thought the telly said it was Stina. Everybody seemed to say it was Stina, and then later on they're saying Chloe Kelly's got a hat trick. I must have missed Chloe Kelly scoring another goal. I thought she only scored 2, and it turned out it was the first goal they were referring to. But anyway, we'll give it to Chloe. It seems like officially it's gone down to Chloe Kelly, so that's fine. And yeah, in the end, of course, like you said, we won comfortably, but it was about the way we played, and it was a good performance. We could have scored 10 goals, let's be honest, didn't it, over the game with the chances we had. But we'll take a 5-0, absolutely. And it was, you're right, it actually set us up perfectly, didn't it, for what was a much bigger challenge on Tuesday night. And of course, there was no doubt about who scored the first goal in this game. Quite clearly, this one was Stina's, and a very good goal it was as well. I have to say, as much as I enjoyed the game and as much as I enjoyed the way that we played, I enjoyed pretty much everything about it. You have to say, we did ride our luck, didn't we? There was a few moments in the game that could easily have gone against us, and it would be a very, very different scoreline. It could have been, couldn't it? The two efforts they had at the post early on in the game, in the first 10 minutes, we could have been 2-0 down. We haven't even got started at that point, and I was thinking, Christ, this could be a long night. But maybe the fact that they both hit the post and came out was a sign of what was to come. You know, I mean, we got the 2 goals in the first half. I think there were only 2 real chances that we had in the first half, really. Like, you know, maybe one other. I know Stina had a shot that was saved, but I think there was a free kick was given before that anyway. But we didn't really have a lot of chances, did we? Chelsea seemed to have a lot more of the ball. They seemed to create a lot more dangerous moments. And then, of course, just before half-time was what I believe was the turning point in that whole game, was when that goal got disallowed for Chelsea, which I think was very, very harsh, if I'm honest. I'm glad it got disallowed, and it makes up for the 2 we got disallowed earlier in the season. But I think if that had been us that scored that goal and it got disallowed, we would be absolutely furious. I can understand Sonia feeling annoyed about that one. The second one, not so much. We'll talk about it in a minute, but I thought that was a perfectly good goal. I thought it was poor defending, poor goalkeeping from Anik Balba. Yeah. I thought it was poor defending all round from Arsenal. And I just thought Leia Cadena has got to be stronger there to win that ball. She seemed to be unsure there was anybody behind her. She was too casual. And in the end, it was headed in by Burman. And I thought that should have been a goal, and we were lucky. So we got lucky 3 times in that first half, really, didn't we? But in the end, you know, we were clinical with our opportunities. And in the end, the game's gone our way. But I think 3-1 was a little bit flattering to us. Would you agree with that, Andreas? Because, you know, we looked a good side, but we didn't. I thought Chelsea maybe deserved to be a better result for them, perhaps, on the night.
Yeah, but all in all, it was just a great game of football from both teams.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And you often say we want to see the best of the best teams in Europe, etc. And this was just proving how good women's football can be. And yes, of course, after 7 or 8 minutes, Chelsea should have got the lead. And if they score both, then we won't find a way back in the game. If only one of these 2 chances from Thompson or James goes in, then we see a different game. So we came away with 2 lucky situations. But after this, I think we got control over the game, and we deserved to be up with 2-0. It was Chelsea, of course, when you are trailing with 2-0 away in a first leg of a Champions League quarterfinal, you have to try everything. And after our second goal, Chelsea, of course, tried to come back into the game or get the control again. But they also didn't have many chances after their 2 hitting the post situations. And then in the 40th minute, I agree. I thought this was a regular goal. It was a terrible mistake from Anneke, coming out, not getting the ball. And then I agree, Laia Codina should have headed the ball away. And I can't see a real foul in this from Borman. And when it was disallowed from the referee, then I saw the referee made this. So you knew she was in contact with the VAR. And I was absolutely convinced the goal will be given. But I read now that the VAR had to follow a protocol, and it was not a 100% mistake from the referee, and therefore the VAR was not allowed to overrule her. Difficult to understand. And if it was the other way around, we scored such a goal. Of course, we would be furious. But I also read it's karma. Remember the league game with our 2 goals disallowed, and the handball from Stina was absolutely no handball. It was absolutely clear goal, and therefore Chelsea shouldn't complain now. They were lucky in the league. We were now lucky with the referee decision in the Champions League. And if you look one season back when we lost 1-0 away at Chelsea with the penalty in the 88th or 89th minute from a very soft foul from Kim. So yeah, I know for Chelsea it's hard to take this situation, but yeah, we had similar situations where it was hard for us to take referee's decision, and now yeah, you had the VAR, and if VAR doesn't overrule this, then Sonia can be as furious as she wants. She has to accept these rules. For me, it was a correct goal or a very soft foul, and the goal should have stood. But anyway, it's karma, and we were 2-0 up. And yeah, of course, this was playing in our hands to be 2-0 up at halftime, and then I think we'll speak now about the second half.
Yeah, I mean, I do agree that we had a couple of terrible decisions when we played Chelsea in the league game. A couple of goals disallowed. Frieda's goal that was disallowed as well was really, really harsh, probably wrong. We know Stina's goal was completely wrongly disallowed. But to me, 2 wrongs or 3 wrongs, where you want to look at it, don't make it right. And just because we had bad decisions go against us in the previous game doesn't mean that decision being wrong because it's gone in our favour should be accepted. I don't think it should be. I don't agree with very much of what Sonia says, and she's got no real argument about the other goal, but I think it's right. I think in the Premier League or even in the Men's Champions League, that goal stands. Even VAR give that goal 100%. They do, because there's nothing wrong with it. Absolutely nothing wrong with that goal. It's just awful defending from us. It wasn't a foul. She's just jumped to head the ball. What else is she meant to do? She just jumped up to head the ball, and Leah Cadena didn't. And as simple as that. And I'm glad the goal got disallowed, obviously, because it could have made such a difference to that game. 2-1 at half time. Chelsea may well have come out with a different result again. So, we definitely got lucky there. But I don't think we should be, we know what it's like when we're on the wrong end of these bad decisions. And just because we're on the right end of one doesn't mean we should forget the ones that, the other ones. All these decisions now, with VAR particularly, should be right. They should get the decisions right, and they're not. And this is a problem. It was on our side this time. In the second leg next week, it might go against us, and it could be crucially go against us. So we can't really be too smug about the fact we finally got a decision against Chelsea, and we don't very often get one. Yes, it's good, and we can enjoy it at the time. But looking at the bigger picture, I think I agree with Sonia. The refereeing's got to be better at that level of football now. Champions League, quarter-final, the decisions the referees have got to be better. They've got to be better in the WSL. The standards got to improve, and the decisions have got to be better than they have been. And yes, it went in our favour, so we shouldn't complain. But I just want to look at the bigger picture, really, because I do feel as though, the refereeing in women's football in general across the board isn't good enough. And this is just another example of it. It's gone in our favour, so we can laugh about it and we can celebrate and everything else. Maybe if we want to do that, that's fine. But the bigger picture is it's got to be better. It has got to be better. And what worries me now next week is I can see some iffy decisions going against us at their ground next week to even it out slightly. That's what I feel might happen, and I don't want that to be the case. It shouldn't be. Every decision should be made on its merits at the time. This was a terrible decision. It went in our favour, so I say let's be pleased about it, but let's make sure that in future the referees are getting all the decisions correct and the VAR is getting them correct when VAR is used, because otherwise what's the point? What is the point if they're going to get big? And Sonia was moaning, and I did find it quite funny, but ultimately she has got a point. At this level of football, you can't have decisions like that ruining the game, although it helped us. So of course that to me was a big turning point, really, because at 2-0 it was a lot more comfortable in the second half for us. I know Chelsea had some opportunities. They got the goal, which again I want to talk about the goal in a minute from Lauren James, but I mean, I thought the second half I thought we actually managed it quite well in actual fact. We defended quite well. We defended deeper. We let Chelsea have the ball in front of us. They didn't create a lot. They had one or two moments, and then I thought when we had the opportunity to counter attack, we did that well. We stretched them. We got the third goal in the end, and we maybe could have had another one. So in the end, I thought the second half was a good team performance. I thought we managed the game really, really well. Again, credit to Renee, because I thought her tactically she got that spot on, and I think that's a real positive that came out of that second half for me, because yes, we had the 2-goal cushion, but Chelsea put us under quite a lot of pressure. They had a lot of the ball, but I thought we worked so hard out of possession in that second half to restrict them to very, very few chances, which was probably just as well, because I do think Annick Bulber had a very, very poor game, a really, really poor game. I thought she was at fault for that goal that was disallowed, and I thought she was at fault for Lauren James's goal. She almost let it go over it and moved her hand away. She should have just tipped it over the bar. It wasn't coming with her at great pace. It was a good strike from distance, right in the top corner. It's a great goal, but really the goalkeeper just got to tip it over the bar. Wasn't. She was on her line. She wasn't chipped from outside. She was outside the 6-yard box. All she had to do was just lift her arm up and tip it over the bar. She could have done that. She seemed to almost move her arm away as though she thought it was going over the bar, so didn't bother to try and save it. I'm sorry, you've got to, even if you've got one slight doubt it might go in, you've got to tip it over the bar, even if it may have been going over anyway. And I thought that was really poor from her. And I actually thought she had a really poor game. And it's a shame because she's played so well, but maybe the nerves of the occasion, I don't know if that's what it was, got to her, but she had a few shaky moments in that game. I mean, obviously the second half proved to be great in the end. We maintained our 2-goal advantage to take to the second leg, which is fantastic. And I thought we managed that second half well. I mean, what did you make of the second half, though? Because, I mean, Chelsea had a lot of the ball, didn't they? They didn't really do much, did they, with it?
Yeah, I can only agree with everything you said. The tactics, the game management from Renee was fantastic, and also her reaction at halftime to take Cody off because she was on a yellow card. It was the right decision. If you have a centre back on a yellow card against players like Alicia Thompson and Lauren James, etc., it's good, but we had no option as centre back, and then taking the risk and bringing or moving Katie McCabe centre back. Spot on. Everything worked, and in first half, Katie was one of the weakest players from us, in my opinion, because she never could stop Thompson or James coming over her side, and then swapping her to centre back. It worked. So spot on for Renee's decision making, and what you said about Annike Borber, I'm glad that you said this, because it was my opinion too, and I said it. This goal from Lauren James, it was a fantastic goal from 25 or 30 meters, and she nearly from standing there, not it's technically brilliant from LJ, but I said this ball was flying for hours, and and she sees the ball coming, and for me it was nearly a Manu Zinsberger reaction, standing there watching, and the ball goes in. Oh yeah, it goes in, and and I'm convinced that Daphne would have saved this. A Daphne Van Domsena in a normal form, normal fitness, she would have saved this. And of course, Chelsea had more from the game. They tried to create more, and they deserved this goal. Yes, but anyway, Annike should have saved it. But then our reaction to this goal was very, very good. Not sitting back and trying to defend the 2-1, but trying to come back into the game and score another one. This was a very good reaction from the whole team, and and the situation when Katie was lying on the ground and giving this pass to Stina, fantastic. And from Stina as well, that she does not try to do it on herself, but seeing Leslie coming there, and this growing partnership between Leslie and Stina, one very good point for us. And the goal or the way Leslie scored this goal was brilliant. When you see it in slow motion, she just one touch and then she takes it volley.
Picked it up and hit it.
Yeah. My first reaction was Hannah Hampton could have saved this. No, when you rewatch it, it was not to be saved. This was just technically brilliant from Leslie, And of course, Chelsea tried to get one back, but in stoppage time, we had this corner, and there was Lotta was there in the box,
Yeah,
and and I don't know who was it, Buchanan or who saved the ball from nearly from the line. So this could have been the 4-1 for us. And speaking about the second disallowed goal from Chelsea, I think this was a clear foul. And
yeah.
you can't say she touched the ball first. No, she was starts up and hitting the goalkeeper on the chest. So it's a foul, and it prevented Anneke from reacting or from saving the ball. So you can't give this goal. I think Buchanan was lucky not to get a yellow card for this. And and speaking about yellow cards, etc., I think Lauren James should have got a second booking in the second half. There were at least two situations where I said, book her. You must book her. But she was on a yellow, and therefore she didn't get a second one. So if Chelsea complains about the disallowed goal, etc., understandable. But there were other situations, and I would say Lauren James should have been sent off after, let's say, after 60 minutes or so. And then it's also a totally different game with 10 against 11. So it was, just to agree with Sonia, it was poor refereeing and should have been better. But I know that Sonia didn't mean the situation with LJ, or that Buchanan doesn't get booked in 90th minute or so. But all in all, it was poor refereeing. Yes.
It was, yeah. I mean, in the end, we maybe got some big decisions go our way. But you're right about the second disallowed goal at the end. I mean, that was, no one can have any complaints about that one. I mean, that was clearly a foul. Again, I thought Anik Bulba was a little bit slow to react when the ball was there. She could have just come out and got it. She was a little bit hesitant. And although she did get the ball, it did allow Buchanan to maybe make that challenge, whereas if she'd come and been a bit more positive in the first place, it wouldn't have happened. But it clearly was a foul. I mean, you're never going to give a goal when you basically kick the goalkeeper into the net. You're never going to give a goal for that, are you? So that one was obviously disallowed, and I'd never even, I was never in any doubt that goal was going to count. So, but yeah, I think actually the Leslie Russo goal is maybe has been quite overlooked a little bit because of Lauren James's goal. Looked more spectacular being outside the box and going in the top corner, but I thought the Leslie's goal was a better goal. The way that first touch, the way she just lifted it up slightly and then just hit it so early that Hannah Hampton didn't have time to react, and it was perfectly placed in that bottom corner. It was just an amazing goal. And the more you see it from behind the goal and different angles, it's like that was a world-class finish. There's no other way about it. And I thought that was the goal of the night. And although Lauren James' goal is going to be more shown and more talked about, I thought Leslie Russo's goal technically was perfect. Perfect first touch, and the second touch so early, hitting that shot so early. And Hampton wasn't expecting it. And even if she had been, I don't think she could have got across and saved it because it was placed so well in the bottom corner. Perfect. It was just a brilliant goal. And yeah, that put the seal on it. And I think I was at 2-1. I'm thinking, I'm not sure if it's enough. I would have took a 1-goal lead, because a 1-goal lead to take any lead is nice to have. But having been 2-0 up, if it had finished 2-1, I think I would have been slightly disappointed and a little bit more worried. But that third goal for me, I think, I don't want to count my chickens. We'll talk about the second leg in a minute, but I'm happy that we got that 2-goal. We finished with the 2-goal advantage still, because I thought that's a good advantage to have. And it was a good second half performance, I thought, from Arsenal. The way that we approached that game was perfect. And yes, Chelsea have had a few players out and one thing or another, but you've got to deal with what's in front of you. And I thought, we had some problems in the game. Obviously, we had some difficult moments, but tactically we were brilliant on the night. And yes, maybe 3-1 slightly flattered us when you look at some of the issues, just things that happened in the game, but I thought we deserved a win for the tactical masterclass again that we showed in a big game that we've done several times under this manager. So brilliant. And it was a good night, and you're right, it was a good game of football. Two good teams trying to win the game, and that's what you want to see, don't you? Two good teams going for each other, and in the end it went in our favour, and it's a great result, and it sets it up nicely, doesn't it, for that next week. But yeah, refereeing has got to be better, absolutely, 100%, all round for everybody. It's got to be better. But we'll take that one for now. We'll put that one away, and 3-1 is a fantastic result. Maybe slightly better. I know I was confident last week, and I was confident we would win the game. And 3-1 is a fantastic result, you have to say. Greg says her hands are on the defender's shoulder, so it's a foul. I don't know. She barely touched her. I don't think it's enough to be a foul. Not all contact is a foul, is it? Not every single piece of contact. It's a physical sport. It's a contact sport. Not all contacts are foul. I don't think it. Yes, she had her arms up to jump. Of course she did. Did that impede? Sorry, Leia Cadena trying to get the ball. I don't think it did. I don't think she was ready. She wasn't set to get the ball. She wasn't expecting anyone to be there. And I thought it was terrible defending, and it got punished, and we were lucky. But I don't know. I don't think it was. I don't think it was a foul. I don't think it's goal shooting this lab. Anyway, on the move says always playing out from the back, still raising my blood pressure. Yeah, of course. I mean, it always will do, won't it? Because it's a risky tactic. When it works, it looks great, but obviously there's a risk of doing something stupid and conceding a goal, which we've done plenty of times. John says, I think Borba thought the LJ shot was going over. And by the time she realised it was dipping, it was too late to go for it. Oh no, I kind of agree with that. But as Andreas said, the ball was in the air for ages. She had plenty of time to judge it. And if you've even got the slightest doubt, as I said, you've still got to just tip it over anyway. It doesn't matter if you concede a corner because it may have been going over. You're better off conceding a corner than conceding a goal, aren't you? So she should have reacted and tipped it over. She could have done even late on because it was just there. You could see it. It was just all she had to do was just lift her arm up. She could have tipped it over the bar. But anyway, I mean, it was a good goal. But I think the goalkeeper has to save it, if I'm honest. Greg says Russo's goal is one of the best she scored. Best goal. Yeah, absolutely. I agree 100%. It definitely was. I mean, probably the Sweden goal in the Euros semi-final was probably the best goal she scored when she back-heeled it. But that one was certainly up there the other night. And I agree. That was the best goal of the game by some distance as well. It was brilliant. John says, yeah, she should have moved just in case. Exactly, yeah, you can't take a risk as a goalkeeper. You've just got to deal with it. It's your job to keep that ball out, whatever you have to. If you think it might go in, just tip it over. But anyway, we got away with it in the sense that, we won the game. We've got a 2-goal advantage. And I don't know, Anik Borba's performance in overall has worried me a little bit because she was playing so well. And suddenly now I'm thinking, do we want her to play in the second leg? We'll talk about that in a minute. But yeah, I thought she had a really bad night, actually. She was the only one I felt that wasn't on her game. Everybody else I thought stepped up and played well. She just had a shocker, really. But hopefully it's a one-off. And she'll be back to her normal self again at the weekend. Talking at the weekend, of course, the games keep coming thick and fast at the moment, don't they? Big games, one after the other. It's great. And of course, tomorrow it is one of the games of the season, really, isn't it? Now, Tottenham are getting a little bit excited this season because actually they've done quite well, let's be honest. They've had a really good season. They've kind of been on the brink, haven't they, of breaking into that top 3, top 4. They're or thereabouts, that they almost feel like they're getting there. And, their new manager's done really well. And they've had some great results. And we obviously could only manage a draw in the away game earlier in the season, which was really disappointing from our point of view. So we have to put that right tomorrow. We have to not only put it right for the 0-0 draw, but we have to actually show Tottenham that, yes, they've improved. Let's give them credit. They've had a good season. They are improving. They've got a good manager. They've got some good players. And they look as though they're an emerging team that could go on in the next 2 or 3 years and maybe do start challenging for the places in the top 3. But we need to put them in their place tomorrow and say, you know what, you're not ready yet. We are still the team to beat, and we are still that's the level that they want to be getting to, and to show that they're not at that level yet. We need to show that tomorrow. Not only for the fact that it's an important game in league positions and league points, they're not that far behind us, let's be honest, and we need the points as well. But also, I think we need to just knock them down a little peg or two, because I think they've got a little bit too, starting to get a bit too big for their boots lately, thinking they're a little bit better than what they are, because they have had a good season. But tomorrow's the time, and we show them that actually there is only one team in North London, as you would expect, and we need to show them that in no uncertain terms. We're playing well at the minute. and I'm not so sure we're going to get the sort of result we got against them last season, but I'm pretty sure we should have too much to win the game. My only concern is because it comes between these two Chelsea games, we do have one or two players missing. We've got a weaker squad to choose from at the moment. I'm expecting a bit of rotation in the team. Not that we can rotate that much because of the injuries that we've got, but one or two positions maybe. And I'm hoping that it doesn't happen, but our mind's going to be slightly distracted by the Chelsea game on Wednesday. That's my only concern, because obviously if we go out with our A game, we'll beat them because we are still quite a bit better than them, despite what they might think and despite their improvements. But my concern is the Chelsea game is, I don't think it's more important. It's not, because this game is more important because it's the next one and it's vital for the league. But in the overall scheme of things, I can understand some people maybe thinking the Chelsea game is more important. And I hope that doesn't affect the performance, because I think we'll have to play well to beat them, because they're a good side this season. They are a good side. I really like their manager. I think he's done a great job actually, and I want to give him credit because he's come in and he's done brilliant. And I think we're going to have to play well tomorrow. But I'm just hoping that we can just focus on this game and get that game done, get it won, and then we can move on to Chelsea. But does that concern you slightly, Andreas, for tomorrow? Because we can't afford that, can we? Because Tottenham could punish us if we're not 100% on our game.
Yes, and the threat is that this Spurs game is in the Chelsea sandwich. Yes, and everybody is thinking on the second leg against Chelsea. But I would say if we play against Brighton, Villa, or Everton on Saturday, this might be more dangerous, because everybody would think this is a team we are going to beat, and it's not such a hard task. But everybody will see that Spurs is a difficult side this season, and Martin Ho is doing a very good job there. And it's the rivalry, Arsenal Spurs. So I'm sure that players like Leah, Lotta, Kimi, Beth, who are very long in our squad, they will tell the others how important this game is, and that you can't lose at home against Spurs. And then we have 45,000 tickets sold. Maybe we'll have an attendance of 50,000. You don't want to play a bad game and lose in front of 50,000 against your top rival. And furthermore, everybody in the squad, every player saw how good it is to play Champions League in a quarterfinal, or last season in a semifinal, etc. And they want to play Champions League next season too. I heard a statement from Leslie Russo. She said, that's why I came to Arsenal, for these Champions League nights. Yeah, so everybody will be motivated and will want to win this game, because if you look at the table, we have 2 games in hand. It's not guaranteed that we win these games in hand, as they are so late in the season. So you need every point. And Chelsea lost 2 points last week against, was it against Villa? No,
London City.
London City, yes, they're playing against Villa now. United lost during the week 2 points. So it's important that we get our points. And yeah, once again, it's Spurs. It's the special rivalry, and everybody wants to win against Spurs at home in front of nearly 50,000. And you don't want to go to the second leg at Stamford Bridge knowing that you have been beaten by Spurs. So everybody will be motivated. And yeah, we should ask Greg about the result, because he was right with his prediction. He said we won, and he was right. Yeah, so respect to Greg. And yeah, one thing I wanted to add, I read that from UEFA, it was awarded the goal of the week, Leslie's third goal against Chelsea. So they saw what we saw.
No, that's good. It deserves it anyway. So it deserved to get goal of the week. Absolutely, it was fantastic. No, I think you're right. Actually, maybe the fact it's Tottenham is probably better than, like you said, playing against one of the lesser teams. There'd be less motivation and more easily distracted by Chelsea. You're right. The fact it's a North London derby in front of a big, massive crowd at the Emirates. Maybe that's the sort of game that actually is ideal to be played in between the two Chelsea games, because it does mean the focus has got to be there, and I'm sure it will be. And I mean, we haven't lost at the Emirates this season. In fact, the last time we lost at the Emirates was actually, when was the last time we lost that? Would have been Lyon last year, wouldn't it? In the Champions League first leg. That's the last game I think we lost at the Emirates. So it's nearly a year we haven't lost at the Emirates for. It's become our fortress. We've played well there this season. Yes, we haven't been scoring that many goals until the West Ham game, and now another 3 against Chelsea. So it's been a good week at the Emirates for goals. Let's hope we can carry that on against Tottenham. I mean, we haven't been scoring too many, so it's nice that they're finally going in for us. So, but no, I think it's going to be a tough game. It will be difficult. Obviously, Tottenham are a good side. They're organised. They have got a bit of a goal threat in them as well. So we need to be on our game, definitely, and I'm sure we will be. And a big crowd is going to obviously help. And I'm fairly confident we'll still get the job done. I just think it might be a bit more of a struggle than maybe it may have been had the game been played at a slightly different time in the season. Maybe it's a difficult period for us in terms of the number of big games we've got one after the other. But you're talking about obviously winning this game to make the top 3 and be in the Champions League next season, which, yes, absolutely. But I still, as I said before, I still think we're in the title race. If Man City are away at Man United this weekend, and Man United at home could potentially beat them, they could. And if they do, we beat Tottenham, that gap's with 2 games in hand. It's what, 5? Was it? Is it? No, what would it be? It's hang on. It's at the moment. Hang on. Is it 9 points with 2 games? No, hang on. What's the lead at the minute? Because I was working out the other day, and I'm thinking if they lose to Man United and we win, we've had 2 games in hand. It suddenly puts them under real pressure, doesn't it?
We could reduce the gap to 2 points if we win both games in hand, I think.
Yeah, 2 points. Yeah, if they lose and then we win. We win on Saturday and then win our 2 games in hand, and they've lost. That would be 2 points. Do you know what I mean? It's something that's a title race again, isn't it? It's a title. There's not many games left for Man City to drop points, but if they suddenly see us breathing down their necks, I think, and bearing in mind, if Man United beat them for 41, they'll only be 5 points behind them if they beat them. So I don't know. I'll be praying for Man United to win. I know realistically, you look at the league table and think, well, we're battling for them, but I want Man City to lose. And if there's not many teams that can beat them. Man United is one of them teams. Let Man United win. We win all our games and we win the league on the final day. That'd be good, wouldn't it? But I'm not sure that will happen. Yeah, so at the minute they're 11 points above us, aren't they? But we've got 2 games in hand. That's 6. That makes it 5. But if they lose to Man U, that's 3 points. They've dropped. So that would be 2 points. Yeah. So it's still possible. Not impossible, but let's see. Let's wait and see what the results are at the weekend first. But yeah, I'm quite happy. I'm quite happy if Man United win for a change. I don't normally want them to win, but I will do. John says Chloe's goal was goal of the match contender for me too. It was a good strike, but again, I thought the goalkeeper should have saved it. It did bounce in front of her, but a goalkeeper of Hannah Hampton's quality, I was quite surprised that she let that in. Actually, it was well struck. It was a good strike, but the goalie should save that, I think. But anyway. We don't mind. Greg says, I like their manager. It's a shame he's managing Spurs. You've got to feel sorry for him. No, he is a good manager. He clearly knows what he's doing. Wow, Greg's gone 5-1. There you go. So if you want to get money on the score, Greg's on a roll at the minute. So Greg says 5-1. So it's going to be 5-1 because Greg says so, and he's always right. Other says, can we hold you to that? And Greg's gone definitely. Well, I mean, he's on a roll at the minute, Greg. So 5-1. Well, that's a bold prediction. I'll give you that. It is a bold prediction, but who knows? We're playing so well at the minute. It could easily be 5-1, but I'm more thinking a little bit closer than that. I mean, Andreas, what will be your score prediction for tomorrow then, the North London derby? Obviously, we'll win, of course.
Yeah, we have to win, and my prediction is 2-0. I think we haven't conceded a goal in the WSL in 2026. So let's keep this record for the league, and we should be able to score 2 goals. So I say 2-0. And I think Steph Catley is back. She will start, in my opinion, Steph together with Lotta, as Leah is not yet ready, Renee said today. And yeah, maybe Caitlin Ford will rotate in. She's back. No Kyra for the rest of the season. Yeah, so far we nearly have our squad together. And for the Spurs, don't underestimate them. They have Bethany England. Of course, she's over her peak, but she's always able to score a goal. And one more name, Maika Hamano. She's on loan from Chelsea. And did you see her winning goal for Japan against Australia? A fantastic strike. And she also scored in the during the Asia Cup, 1 or 2 more goals. So I can't understand why Chelsea sent her on loan, but she could be a threat in the North London derby if she starts. And yeah, if I were Martin Ho, I would start her with the confidence of being Asian champion. So yeah, be careful, don't underestimate them. But normally we are the better team. We are at home, and I say 2-0 would be a good result.
Oh, I think it would be a brilliant result. Yeah, I mean, we need to win the game first and foremost. I mean, looking at the league table, as we've said, every 3 points that we get is going to be vital. So yeah, we have to win. I mean, I was kind of thinking along similar lines. We're not conceding goals, are we? Not in the WSL anyway. So another clean sheet would be fantastic. I'd be tempted to bring Daphne in for this game actually after the performance the other night of the goalkeeper. So maybe bring Daphne in for this one. Yeah, Steph Catley potentially, yes. Obviously, we know Leah Williamson's not going to be fit for tomorrow. She may be fit for Wednesday. So, yeah, maybe Steph will come in. Although Leah Cadane has actually done quite well. But I don't know. That's a choice, I suppose, there. And I think Caitlin Ford will probably start on the bench, if I'm honest. But who knows? She gets a lot of game time, doesn't she? So maybe she will come in. I mean, Beth Mead was a little bit sloppy the other night. So maybe she might play instead of her, maybe. But anyway, I mean, at the end of the day, we don't have... we have still got a few players out missing and stuff, so we don't have the options that we've got. I'd like to see Smilla Holmberg play, maybe rest Emily Fox for this one, play Smilla Holmberg from the start because she's fantastic. That could be a good maybe change to make, but let's see. I mean, we've got good players, haven't we? We should win. I'd like her to keep a clean sheet, actually, but I was going to maybe thinking of 2-0. I'll go 3-0. We'll maybe get a late one at the end to get the third and finish it off. But I don't think it's not going to be an easy game at all. We're going to have to play well, and we probably will play well, I'm sure, and get the job done. And yeah, obviously Tottenham will go scurrying back to their little ground up the road, and with their tails between their legs, they've been beaten again by Arsenal at the Emirates. That's what we want. On the Move says we beat Man City. Yeah, we did beat them. Yeah, but we need them to. We need a few other teams to beat them, don't we? There you go. John says, yeah, we've conceded 10. They've conceded 31. I'll go 4-0. Yeah, they have conceded a lot more goals than we have. But, I mean, yeah, 4-0 will do. Let's be honest. Let's go for it. Top Show's gone 3-0 as well. Ryan says, yes, England could likely score. Beth, that is. Yeah, Beth England could score. She's still a good player. Greg says, yeah, don't worry about their player. Our players are better. Well, yeah, they are. I agree. Absolutely, they are better. If we want crosses in the box, leave Ford in the change room. Yeah, well, if you want crosses in the box, play Smilla Holmberg, because every time she gets the ball, all she's going to do is go past the defender and get a cross in. That's all she wants to do, which is brilliant to see. I love it. I would play her every game, me, but anyway, she may well start, of course. Tomorrow, maybe we'll see. But that's going to, obviously, it's a big occasion, is it? North London derby. It's always a good game. Yes, I feel in a women's game, the rivalry with Tottenham isn't quite the same as it is in a men's game because it hasn't got the history. Obviously, Tottenham women's team have only been in a top flight for a few years, really, when you look at the history of women's football. So it might develop more over the years. At the minute, it's still Chelsea, still our main rival in the women's team, I think, rather than Tottenham. But obviously, it's North London derby. You don't lose it there. You don't lose to Tottenham, simple as that. So we're not even going to think about losing, are we? top Chelsea. Lotta has been a great defender in this stretch. Been playing well. No, I agree. I said that the other night in the watch along. Actually,
Yeah.
I think Lotta's really playing really well. I thought she had a great game the other night. She's cut out most of those lapses of concentration that used to be a problem for her. And I think she was good last season when she played. She's been good this season. And yeah, I agree. I think she's been really good. When you look at because Leah Williams has been out so much, she's probably been our best defender actually this season, hasn't she? I think she's been our best defender, and credit to her, because she's had a few issues over the years, hasn't she, with her form up and down a little bit. But yeah, she's been brilliant. And I'm sure she'll do well again tomorrow. She's sure to play, really, isn't she? As we don't have too many other centre back options, really. So I'm sure she will. But yeah, we'll win. I'll go 3-0, and let's hope that any victory will do, of course. But yeah, let's put them in their place once and for all, because I think they've been getting a little bit above themselves lately, thinking they're, because they're up there in the league, they've been close to us in points most of the season. So we need to just put them back in their box and say, you go away and improve a bit more and come back to us in a little while when you think you can actually challenge us again. So that's going to be good. And of course, after the big North London derby, of course, it is the second leg of the Champions League. Is 3-1 going to be enough? I must admit, I was obviously last week I was really confident that we would beat Chelsea. But actually, I thought the way they played the other night, I thought they actually played quite well. I thought they did play pretty well, actually, Chelsea. And I was quite surprised with some players they've got missing, one thing and another. I wasn't expecting them to play as well as they did. But we got the 2-goal lead to take there. So I think that's really important. I don't think the tie's over completely, if I'm honest. I think the first goal on Wednesday is going to be absolutely crucial. I think if Chelsea score, particularly if it's in the first 20 minutes and it's suddenly 3-2, it's a totally different game, isn't it? And it's really there for the taking for either team at that point. I think if we can keep it 0-0 for as long as we can, obviously if we can nick the first goal, I think it's over, to be honest. I think 4-1, they're not coming back from that. So I think the first goal is going to be so important in this game. It usually is, but even more so in this one, because I think if Chelsea get an early one in particular, then I think it could be a really, really long night for us to try and hang on or get a goal back. But I'm still confident we'll go through. I think the 2-goal lead is a decent lead to take over there. It's as much as we could have probably hoped for in reality. And we just need to go there and hopefully once again, Renee can get our tactics right. If we manage this game well, then we'll get the job done. We don't need to score a goal. We don't need to do anything much attacking wise necessarily. We need to offer a threat on the counter attack. Of course we do. But what we need to do is be as good off the ball as we were the other night. We need to defend really well. Put them under pressure quickly. Don't let them get any rhythm. And I think if we manage the game correctly, I think we'll have enough. The 2-goal lead will be enough. But it's definitely not going to be easy. I can see us having some difficult moments in that game. I can see us having to really battle really hard. And it's definitely not over and done with. It's definitely not over and done with. The 2-goal lead is great, but it's not over at all. I mean, a lot of the Chelsea players were saying it's half time. Even a lot of our players were saying it's true. It is only half time. And the 2-goal lead at half time is great. But yeah, I'm not worried, but I've got a few concerns. If we concede the first goal, I really do feel as though it's going to be a difficult night. But I still think we'll go through. I mean, Andreas, you must be confident that we'll finish the job, surely, even though it's going to be tough.
Yeah, it's not over, and I agree. Just if the situation was the other way around and we would be trailing with 2 goals, we would say it's only half time and there's still everything to play for. And last season, Man City won the first leg 2-0 against Chelsea in the quarterfinal, and the second leg Chelsea drew everything and won 3-0. So they have proven that they are able to come back. And another aspect is they have Ellie Carpenter and Sam Kerr back. I don't think that Kerr will start, but Ellie Carpenter will start, and she is a very, very good right back and nearly a winger. So Yeah, that will be a boost for Chelsea. But what I see, or what is speaking for us, is we don't, if we don't concede in the first 5 minutes or 7 minutes, like we nearly did in the first leg, then normally we don't have the pressure to score. We can try to hold them, and we can defend. And so it's not a game for Alicia Thompson or for Lauren James with their pace or counter attacks. Uh, yeah, it's more a game for Olivia Smith or for Stina Blackstenius for their pace. And if we can win the ball and then play a long ball, or just counter a counter attack with the pace we have, so this could play in our favor as long as we don't fall behind in the first minutes. The longer it's 0-0, the better for us. If we can manage to go to halftime with 0-0, it would be fantastic, because the pressure rises with every minute on Chelsea. And yeah, if we defend well, they will have problems. Of course, they have Carpenter back, maybe Aggie Beaver-Jones back, and in second half they will bring Sam Kerr, and we know Kerr is always able to score a goal. So this tie is not over. It's only over after 90, 95 minutes if we hear the final whistle. Until then, Chelsea is able to score. And for us, it would be great to score one goal. And then, even if it's the first goal, as you said, fantastic. If they get the lead and we get the equalizer, then then the momentum is on our side again. Uh, I don't think that Chelsea will score 3 goals in normal 90 minutes. If everything goes in their favor, they might go to extra time, but we don't concede 3 goals against them. So scoring one for us might bring us through. And that's my prediction. I say it will be a very nervy game. It will be nail biting in the end, but the result will be 2-1 to Chelsea, and we will go through. It will be really nervy in the end, and we'll count every second from stoppage time. But in the end, it will be 2-1, and we qualify for the semifinals. I'm optimistic, and let's just put trust and belief in our team. We have a good run, and we can do it. And let's believe that the girls do it.
I mean, that would be quite a nervy night, wouldn't it? If it was 2-1 twice, that would. I mean, to be honest with you, as long as we go through, I guess it doesn't matter too much what the final score is on the night, as long as the aggregate score is in our favour, I guess.
Yes.
But I wouldn't really want it to be. I don't really want us to lose the game anyway. But yeah, that would be quite nervy. I personally think it'll end up in a draw. Actually, I think we'll get a draw there, because I think what'll happen is, I think Chelsea may well get the first goal in the night, and then I think we'll score an equaliser, and then Chelsea will push on to try and get the winner, and we'll just defend, and I think it'll end up in a draw. But as long as we go through, I think if we score, we're almost definitely through, because I think, them would need, overall they'd need to score 4 goals, wouldn't they? And I don't think that'll happen. So I think if we score a goal and we've got a 4-1, then I think I can't see them scoring 5 goals over the 2 games, and then they'll need 4 in the second leg, wouldn't they, if we get one more? So I don't think that's going to happen. I think if we score, we're through. So that's what I'm predicting we'll do. I think we will score, and it'll be enough to go through, and I think we'll do enough to get at least a draw in the night and see it through. But yeah, I think it will be a tense night anyway. It's going to be, isn't it? It's not going to be easy unless we score 2 goals in the first 10 minutes and then it's over and done with. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? But I'm not expecting that to happen, let's be honest. It's more likely we'll concede an early goal, because we tend to concede early when we play Chelsea often. So, but let's hope we can we do it. I'm sure we will. I'm pretty confident that we're not going to throw away a 2-goal lead. I think that would be I just can't see that happening, to be honest. Greg said it'll be the same result as at the Emirates. Wow, you're going 3-1 again, are you? That would. I mean, it'd be good, and it could be the point where, if it is 1-1 on the night, and Chelsea have to throw everything at it to get a goal to get back in it, there might be spaces galore and we can exploit it maybe and get 2 late goals and maybe we will win 3-1. But I don't know. Any result that sees us go through on aggregate is good enough for me. Obviously, if we can win the game, that would be a bigger boost as well. Winning twice away at Chelsea in the same season, not many teams do that, do they? So that would be great. But let's just get through. Let's get the tie done. Let's score a goal, and I'm sure that'll be enough. And that will do us really. On the Move says it should be on terrestrial TV. Is it not? Because the other one wasn't it? That was on BBC Two. What telly is this one on? Do we know?
Normally all Champions League games are on Disney Plus. I don't know whether BBC or ITV will show it.
I mean, BBC showed the first game last week. It was on BBC Two, so I don't know. But it should. You're right. It should be on terrestrial TV. Absolutely. The first game was. Hopefully, the second leg will as well. Otherwise, it could be quite difficult for me to find it. But anyway, I'm sure it will be good. So we shall see. John says well, we will be out of this world. Yeah, of course we will. We're always out of this world, aren't we? Top Shelf says only 10 goals against in regular season. It will be tough for them to get 3. Yeah, exactly. And if we score, they'll need 4 over the 2. Yeah, I can't see it. You're right. I can't see it. Ryan says can't lose to Chelsea 1-1. That will do, won't it? 1-1 would be nice. I think 1-1 as well. John says I think we can do them with 2 goals. I can't see them getting enough to turn that around. I hope you're right. I really do. Let's see. Edward James says the last time Arsenal lost by more than 1 goal margin was last season against Brighton 4-2. Arsenal will go through. Yeah, and that was, of course, if you remember, that Brighton game was one of those games at the end of the season when the Champions League final was coming and players were rested and rotated. And yeah, when was the last time Arsenal lost by 2 goals with our regular team, our normal first team playing? I can't remember, actually. Can't remember. Probably when Chelsea might have beat us by a few goals. Didn't they beat us 3-1 at Stamford Bridge 2 or 3 years ago when Kim Little scored? You know, when we conceded some really daft goals in that game. Do you remember? Own goals or something, weren't it? It was terrible. That was the last time.
Last season Champions League, we lost 5-2 against Bayern Munich after being 2-2, and then
that's true. Yeah, we did.
In 30 minutes we conceded 3 goals. But I hope we have learned from this.
Well, we didn't this season, did we? Because we were 2-0 up against Bayern Munich and still managed to lose again. So we probably didn't seem to have learned much, did we? But that was earlier in the season. We are a lot better now. I can't see that happening. Greg says they'll be pushing for goals and Steiner pace to win us the game. Yeah, I think you'll be right. John says tomorrow's game's on Sky. Yeah, tomorrow's game is, yeah. Oh, it is on BBC Two. Good. It's on BBC Two again. It should be. It was on BBC Two the other night, wasn't it? So that was good. And yeah, it'll be on Disney Plus as well, which is, I mean, I can't understand why, as a football company, obviously UEFA, why would you sell the rights to your competition to Disney Plus? They've got nothing to do with sport, nothing to do with football. There's loads of sport-related channels out there that you can sell the rights to the Women's Champions League to. Why on earth are you selling it to Disney Plus? Why? Disney Plus is a kids channel. What on earth are you trying to promote women's football? Yes, okay, it's got a family audience. I accept that, but it's still top level sport. Top level sport isn't a kids' TV show, is it? It should be on a sports channel. It should be. They should have sold the rights to Sky, to ESPN, somebody like that, TNT, whatever it is, a sports channel, not Disney Plus. I'm sorry, that's a terrible decision. Totally made by money and nothing else. It's ridiculous. Anyway, it's on BBC Two, so we don't care because we can still watch it. But yeah, try and sort it out for the future. Do not sell football coverage to channels like that. It's ridiculous. So it's looking all set, isn't it, to be another really good week. You know, we're going to beat Tottenham. Of course we are, because it's Tottenham. We have to beat them. And we're going to get the right result on Wednesday, the result to go through over the 2 legs anyway, which is what we need to do. So it's going to be another really good week, isn't it? And then, of course, next weekend, it is the FA Cup comes round, the quarterfinal. So a lot of massive, massive games are coming. Hopefully, there'll be a Champions League semi-final to come after that as well later on. But let's see. Let's not take it for granted. I'm not getting too carried away, but I do now, having got this 2-goal lead, I would expect us now to go through. Ryan says, taking the Mickey Mouse, indeed. And John says, giving football games to Disney is taking the Mickey, indeed. It is taking the Mickey, Absolutely. Greg says commentary on Disney is terrible. They just talk about players, but no comment. See, I've never seen it because I can't get Disney Plus. I've never seen any game. I've never seen their coverage. I can assume it will be terrible, but most football coverage on TV nowadays is terrible anyway, isn't it? Even Sky's coverage is terrible. TNT's worse. The BBC, to be fair to the BBC, I don't actually mind their coverage so much of women's football. I think it's not too bad. Could be better, obviously, but it's probably the best. It's probably the BBC is probably the best coverage of women's football out of all the others. Not that there's much competition because the rest are terrible, but anyway, they do an okay job with it at the minute. I would say it's certainly better than where was it when they kept wiping the screen? When was it? There was that. Well, that was who was doing that game? And do you remember last season? It was in Meadow Park, wasn't it? And it was raining, and they kept wiping the screen, didn't they? Throughout, it was terrible. Anyway. Hadji says there, I believe Chelsea can score 2 or more goals with the players they have, but I'm so confident they can't stop us from scoring, especially when it's them chasing. Exactly, yeah. We will hit them on the cat. That's what I think as well. Yeah. Top Shelf says, had to watch the game on Latino TV. See, Latino TV sounds a bit dodgy to me, my friend. That sounds like there's all sorts going on there that you should be watching. But if the game was on, then that's okay. The Latino TV doesn't sound too good, is it? Anyway. Yeah, I mean, I know there's been different streams of different games. Greg says you need to get Disney, then you can watch Winnie the Pooh, my hero. Well, I'm sure I can watch Winnie the Pooh somewhere without having to get Disney, but I don't know. Yeah, I just crazy. But anyway, we will be able to watch the game on Wednesday, so that's good news, isn't it? And of course, I'll be here tomorrow for the watch along for the Tottenham game. It's 5:30 kickoff. I'm actually looking forward to that. It's going to be really good. And we are going to win. Of course we are. And don't forget to watch out for Andreas's vlog, because the one for the Chelsea game was amazing, wasn't it? Seeing the players come in. I can't believe, actually, that when the Chelsea players arrived, there were people cheering them. I wouldn't have been cheering. Okay, yeah, Lucy Bronze maybe for being an absolute legend. But all the others, I wouldn't have been cheering. I'd have been booing them, me. You know, Lauren James, boo, boo, Lauren James. I think there must have been a couple of Chelsea fans there when they're watching. There must have been.
No. There was an official from Arsenal before, and he said we never boo the opposition side when they arrive from the bus and get into the dressing room. We save the boos for the stands for the game, but be fair when they walk from the bus to the dressing room. Therefore, it was slight applause, and yes, Lucy Bronze did get a real applause, and she was smiling when you could see this. She was maybe a bit surprised, but yeah, Lucy is a legend, and therefore she deserves it. Yeah, but to all our viewers, I would be happy if you watch the vlog. I tried to record as much from the players' arrival that you can see everyone coming, and yeah, and I caught Ganasaur before the game and after the game when he was a bit dancing. We have the statement from Greg as always, so please watch the vlog. Would be nice to get some views and some thumbs up.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's fantastic. Really good vlog. And yeah, some great footage there of the players coming in. And now you're right, Lucy Bronze is a legend. Absolutely. I'd never boo Lucy Bronze ever, because I don't care who she plays for. She is one of the absolute legends of women's football. And yeah, she's just a bit like Kim Little, you know, she keeps playing, and it doesn't look like she's slowing down at all. You know, she's just a fantastic player, great role model for women's football. And yeah, it's always a pleasure to see her play. Obviously, particularly when we beat them, obviously, but yeah, no, I suppose that's the right way, really, isn't it? I mean, you know, Chelsea at the end of the day, they've achieved a lot in football, a lot of these players, and they should be respected at the end of the day. Yes, we want to beat them, of course we do, but you know, they're great players, aren't they? So yeah, so but yeah, that was good, actually. I say the reception that they got I was quite surprised, actually, but it was, I suppose it was nice, really. And obviously to see our players come off the bus, and that was brilliant. Really good. I enjoyed watching that, seeing that. You know, they all seemed to give high five to Gunnosaurus, didn't they, as they walked past? That was quite cool. It did seem like a lot of fun, actually. And yeah, it was that was added a little bit extra to the vlog that we don't get to see, do we? All that sort of stuff much. but anyway, it's good to get to see some stuff like that as well. But definitely watch that one. Watch the West Ham one, and of course watch the Tottenham one as well this weekend. That's going to be good. I'm sure there'll be some. I'm sure Gunnersaurus will make an appearance again, won't he? Because he just loves it, doesn't he? He can't. Every time he sees you, he just has to get in the shot, doesn't he? He just has to do it because he loves being on the channel so much, So he's there again. I'm sure he will be. But no, it's going to be good. It's going to be good tomorrow, isn't it? North London derby at the Emirates. 50,000 potential crowd there as well. It's going to be a great game, and of course we're going to win, and hopefully we can score a few of these great goals that there's been a few great goals last couple of games, hasn't there, that we've scored, which is nice. Chloe Kelly's got a few bangers, hasn't she? Let's hope she might pick another one out there tomorrow, hopefully against Tottenham. Be nice. Obviously just at the beginning, while we were trying to get you on the show, I didn't have a chance to talk about obviously the Kim Little contract, Andreas. I was saying that a few months ago, I wouldn't have been overly enthusiastic about it. But now, the way she's playing, I'm absolutely delighted we've got her for another season. I mean, you must be happy that she's staying. The way she's playing at the minute is incredible. What a game she had the other night as well.
Yeah, she's for me, she's the player of the season so far. And this says all. A midfielder at the age of 35, and she's not resting or that you say she's doing 20 minutes at her best, and then you have to sub her. No, she's in the heart of the game, and when she was out in the first half of the season, we were really missing control in our game, and this says enough. And every time Kim is on the pitch, when we are in difficult position or don't know where to pass or we are under pressure, give the ball to Kim, she will find a solution. And for me, when I watch our team, then I see, the ball is going to Kim. I'm relieved. Nothing bad can happen. She will find a solution. And once again, she will be 36 this summer. And she's so important. So I'm really glad that she stays at least one more season. And I think it's the right way from the club and from Kimmy to say let's talk about it year by year. As long as she's so fit and so good and so important, then it's fantastic that she stays one more year. But of course we should find a successor for her. We should find someone, who fits in this role. Yeah, she can play with at the age of 36, 37, but there will come a time when she will retire. She has to retire. No player no outfield player can bring her best or can be at her peak at the age of 40. So we know it's a limited time, but so far I'm very happy that she stays, and she's still at her peak. It's unbelievable. She's as good as she was with 30, with 32, and now with 35. The most important player in our team, and of course a leader, a silent leader, but everybody's looking up to her, and because she's a role model and because of everything she has already achieved, everybody's looking up to her. And I'm happy, and I think we all are happy that she signed for one more year.
Absolutely. I mean, the fact that Leah Williamson looks up to her so much tells you everything you need to know, really, doesn't it? I mean, Leah Williamson is, would be the captain of this team without Kim being there. So, the fact that Leah Williamson is so, she was the first one there today when she signed a contract and stuff. So it is great. Obviously, like you said, Kim Little is still an important player, and whether or not she still should be as important as she is maybe a debate that we could have. A player of that age is still that important, but she's that important because that's how she is, that's how good she is, and that's what she brings to this team. And when it's a big game, you saw that the other night against Chelsea, she was everywhere. Wherever she needed to be, she was. She needed to intercept the ball, she was there. She needed to block a shot, she was there. Everything where she needed to be, and to be doing that still at that top level at her age is incredible, really is incredible. And, if she can keep clear of injuries, you have to say she could easily play next season and maybe even beyond as well. I'm not sure, but no, it is good news. I'm over the moon now. I say a few months ago, I'm thinking maybe she looked as though she was reaching the end, didn't she? She had a few injuries and stuff, but now she's fit and she's been unbelievable. You're right. She has been probably our most consistent player this season. She's been brilliant. And every time it's a big game, she's there, captain's role in that team. And that's, you know, that's so important. And you're saying to replace her, I think the only downside to her keep signing every year is we probably think we don't need to replace her. So we're not looking to. But I think what we need to do now is, because we know we've got her for at least another year, start getting a replacement in now to learn off her for the next year and to mould her into the player to replace Kim. At the minute, we don't have anybody really in this squad that can do that. I don't think we need to. Well, who can, I suppose. But what we need to do is, I think now's a good opportunity this summer to find the next player that is gonna replace Kim, and mould them over the next year, get them to learn off Kim while she's still here and while she's still playing. And then when she does finally retire, because like you said, it happens to everyone, she's going to have to retire at some stage. And when she does, we need to be ready for that. And we need to have players who can fill that role. You know, I think we've got leaders that can fill the role in terms of leadership. Leah Williamson, for example, one or two others that could step up to a leadership role. But in terms of what she brings to the team on the pitch, that's where that's what we need to find. It's where we get that from, I don't know. But that's what the coaching, that's what the scouts are for, everybody else, to find that player. And you know, that's what we need to do. But yeah, it is good news. I am happy. Obviously, she's a legend, and you know, it's almost like you can't imagine an Arsenal women's team without Kim Little being there, can you? It just doesn't seem right. You know, yes, she's been out injured, but you know she's there. You know, it doesn't seem feasible to imagine what it's like without her being there. So yeah, it is good that she's there, and I'm sure she'll have another important season next year. Greg says she'll stay at the club when she retires on as a coach. Yeah, I agree. She probably will, actually. John says 35 and getting a new contract is crazy. She's a machine. She is a machine. Ryan says Kim better than the Duracell battery. Well, she seems to be powered by Duracell batteries, don't she? Because she definitely don't stop. Top Shelf says nearly 20 years with the Gunners. They owe her. Well, yeah, that's true, actually. That's probably why we've given it to her. Greg says, my missus always watches the vlog. She looks forward to Andreas' singing. Well, I think we all look forward to Andreas' singing. It's probably the highlight, isn't it? Absolutely. Gunnosaurus dancing was a good highlight the other night as well, though. Let's make sure that's, you know, you got to watch Gunnosaurus dancing as well. But yeah, no, the Andreas' singing is legendary. It's definitely legendary. We love that. So and you know, I'm probably luckier than all you lot, because not only do obviously you get to see it on the vlog, which is great, but I have to go through all the footage and edit it, so I actually hear it 50 times more than what you do when I'm putting the videos together. So I'm lucky. I get to experience it all the time. We've got a Chelsea fan in. Oh, I'm surprised that you've turned up actually after the result the other night. Anyway, do you agree LJ is the most technical female player in the world right now? She's one of the most, I would say. The only thing I think that, not the only thing, but one of the things for me that maybe. Oh, we're back. So yeah, I think maybe because she's very laid back, isn't she? Like that goal she scored the other night, it's almost like, oh well, I'll just try a shot. She doesn't seem to be very intense at times, and I don't know whether that goes against. I mean, technically she's brilliant. There's no doubt, you know, and obviously she's got a little bit of an attitude issue. You know, she could have got 2 or 3 yellow cards the other night. You know, some of the challenges that she makes. You know, we've seen her get red cards before for England and stuff. Technically, is she the best in the world? I don't know if she's the best. She's up there, isn't she? She's up there. Would you say she's the best technical player in the world right now, Andreas?
That's very difficult to say, because I don't know every player in the world, or I don't watch the best players from the NWSL and USA also. But definitely LJ is one of the best, and yeah, and I'm always happy when the Lionesses are playing, when she's fit and she's starting for the Lionesses, because she can, for me, she can show everything for the Lionesses, but not for Chelsea, please. Yeah, she has a problem with her attitude, I think, and that's something I don't like, and that's why I don't want her in our team. But apart from this. Her technical skills are amazing, and this goal she scored, there are not many players who could score just from standing there and let me shoot from 30 meters, let me score a goal, right now. It's so, yeah, she sometimes she looks as if she's not really interested in what's going wrong, going up, and sometimes if things don't go her way, she's yeah, she tends to dirty attacks or something like that. That's what I say, what I don't like on her, but nothing against her technical skills. She's just brilliant.
Yes, no, she is. She's a very good technical player. There's no doubt about that. And I just think as an all-round player, she's got too many flaws in her character, maybe. She seems to have a chip on her shoulder. And I don't know if that's actually true, because sometimes I've seen her in interviews, outside of the game, and she actually seems quite chilled, and she seems quite relaxed and quite funny. And, you know, I can imagine her being better company off the football pitch than you imagine her to be when you watch her play. She does seem to play with a chip on her shoulder a little bit and a bit of an attitude, which maybe is a good thing in certain circumstances. But I think if she was to channel that in a slightly better direction, I think it would help her game, because I think it maybe holds her back sometimes. She gets too many yellow cards. She gets involved in things she doesn't need to get involved in. And, you know, maybe as she matures a bit more, that might change. But yeah, I mean, technically, there's not much you can, you can really criticize her for technically. She just needs to put it all together to become a better all-round player. I mean, I think you're looking at, there was a comment there, Telma said there about mention any female players. Well, I mean, there's a few at Barcelona. There's, obviously Bon Mati would be one that springs to mind. I mean, I like the, is it De Mornay at Lyon? I think she's a very good technical player as well. It is difficult to compare players technically because they're so different, really, aren't they? I think, Lauren James is a totally different player to somebody like De Mornay. She's a totally different player to Bon Mati. Doesn't mean she's better or worse technically. I think it's difficult to compare it in that way. You've got to look at the impact that they have in the games. And I think these other players have more impact in the game because Lauren James wastes too much energy getting involved in stuff she shouldn't be getting involved in. And I think that's where she maybe comes short in when you're looking at the best players in the world right now. I think she could be in that discussion if she cut out some of that other part to her game and concentrate more on the football side of it and being the best player she can be, then she'd have a chance. At the minute, I just think that that's holding her back a little bit. And I think other players who may not be quite as technically gifted as her, perhaps, but they have more impact because of the way they approach the game is different. I mean, I think De Mornay at Lyon is fantastic, actually. I think she's a really good player. But, I think Greg mentioned Caldente. Bon Mati, Caldente. Yeah, I mean, obviously, Caldente is a great player as well. A different type of player. If you was to look at Lauren James play, and Lauren James maybe looks a bit more of an exciting player just because of the way that she moves the ball and the way that whereas I think Mariona Caldente is a much more intelligent player. Maybe not as exciting to watch at times. I mean, I think Mario is brilliant. She's a fantastic player. But maybe Lauren James is more of a player that's going to get you off your seat, or it looks like she's going to do something a bit different. Whereas I think Mariona Caldente, maybe even Bon Mati as well, they're quite structured in the way that they play, but it doesn't mean they're any less of a great player. It's just different, isn't it? I think it's difficult to compare. It's good that there's so many great players. Joel says there she has a swagger. No, exactly. No, I agree. She's got a swagger, yeah, and that makes her stand out in a different way. Does that make her more technical than those other players? Maybe not, but different. And yeah, maybe a little bit more exciting. I'd agree. She's an exciting player, but when she's on her game, you give her the ball and she's running with it, and she can do some amazing things. I agree, but she's got too many flaws that let her down at the minute. Well, I don't know if she as technical. Is she more technical? I don't know. They're different type of players. And Top Show says De Mornay is. Yeah, I think she's brilliant. I'd love her at Arsenal. Actually, she'd be fantastic, wouldn't she? Greg says there the best technical player is very subjective. Yeah, does your team really miss her when she's not playing? Yeah, I don't think it's just that. Is it when you're looking at a technical player? Technical player is a player that when they've got the ball, they can do something off the cuff, amazing that not many other players can pull off. does that make them more important to the team? I don't know. Lauren James can do one-off bits of skill in a game that no one else can do, but does she have as much? Look at the game the other night. Did she really have much impact on that game apart from the goal and one or two other moments? She didn't really have much impact on the game, did she? For all the little skills that she showed, what impact did she have? Very little. And then you look at some of the other players who maybe, for me, Alessi Russo is just as technical in a different way, and look at the impact she had in the game. Much bigger impact. And I think sometimes you've got to look at that, haven't you, as well. But that's nothing against Lauren James. She's a very, very good player. She's a great player, let's be honest. And I agree with Andreas. When she plays for England, I love her, want her to do well, want to see her on the ball. When she plays for Chelsea, I hope she falls over and, gets booked and sent off, quite honestly. Chelva says, personally, I think a fit LJ can walk into any female team right now. I wouldn't necessarily disagree with that. But again, that's down to the position that she plays in the team as much as anything else, isn't it? But no, I wouldn't disagree with her. I don't think she's the best player in the world. I don't think she's necessarily the most technical player. She's an exciting player. And, she's a great asset for England, absolutely. But anyway, it's a good discussion. And, I agree with Andreas. I wouldn't want her at Arsenal necessarily. I think we've got players that I prefer to Lauren James, even though they might not be as good, if you see what I mean. Technically as good anyway. But we'll see on Wednesday, won't we? We'll see how technically good Lauren James is to dig her team out of this 2 goals. Well, hopefully not, yeah. But to me, that's if she is this player that you're saying that she is, she can take this game to Arsenal on Wednesday and she can be the difference that gets Chelsea through. I don't think she'll do that because I don't think she's good enough to do that. But let's see. If I'm wrong and she does, then fantastic. Well, I'll come on in next week and I'll say you were right. And maybe she's the most technical player. But for her she needs to lift her team, elevate the level of her team, which I don't think she does. I think Mariana Caldente has risen the level of our team when she's in that coming our team. And I think that's the difference between the two. But obviously they're a different type of player. As I said, she plays with an arrogance of a player who knows they are good. Well, no, that's true, which is what highlights her flaws. That's a good way of describing it. I think that's right. Yeah, I think it is like an arrogance almost, which I actually don't mind. I think if you're one of the best at what you do, you deserve to have an arrogance. I kind of like that, but it's got to be channeled in the right way. She has got flaws that need to be worked on. I'm sure she's aware of that as well. And let's hope that she doesn't produce too many great moments on Wednesday. That's all I'm saying. But we'll see. Yes, it's been a good week. It's been a very, very exciting time of the season for us. We're playing well. We're in a really good place at just the right time in the season. And let's hope these next 2 games go the same way. And we'll be sitting here next week discussing another great week. A place in the semi-final of the Champions League, which is there, and it's so close we can almost touch it, but we can't quite touch it yet because there's still work to be done. But let's hope we can get that job done. John says Arsenal let LJ go. Yeah, we did, yeah. And sometimes you can look at that and think, was it the right decision? Other times I look at it and think, yes, it was. She's one of them, isn't she? She's the kind of player you only like when she's on your team. Yeah, that's a good point as well. I agree with that. Yeah,
that's a good point.
When she plays for Lionesses, we love her. When she plays for Chelsea, we don't like her at all. And that maybe sums her up. I think you're right there. There you go. Agneta says, James Asteen is an angel compared. Absolutely, yeah, of course she is. Greg says, good decision to let her go. Well, yeah, I suppose it. I'm sure Arsenal don't regret it really, but she's obviously a good player. But we'll see on Wednesday. There's only, will she be in a semi-final of Champions League? I'm thinking no. Yes, it's been a good week. It's a good moment for Arsenal at the minute, and hopefully tomorrow is going to be good. The North London derby, we're looking forward to that, aren't we? And of course, when is it you fly back? Are you flying back Sunday or is it Monday?
Monday. Monday flying back, and then on Wednesday I'm taking the train to Munich for the second leg, Bayern Munich versus Man United. So yeah, busy times for me too.
Oh wow, very busy times. Exactly, that's going to be good, isn't it? So you're going to miss the Chelsea game then live?
Our game against Chelsea is the late game on Wednesday, and Bayern is playing at 5:45. So I should be in the hotel to watch our game against Chelsea.
Oh well, that'll be good then. That could be a good night, couldn't it? Bayern Munich win,
Could
Arsenal
be.
win. What a night! Wow, fantastic! What a couple of games that will be. I mean, I should be able to watch maybe second half of the. I might be able to watch the second half of the Bayern Munich game before our game. Maybe I'll have to see. But no, it's going to be a good week. I can feel it. I'm excited. I feel confident that we can pull it off and get the right results that we need. And yeah, I'm looking forward to obviously another good week. I'm sure it's going to be. Ryan says, keep up this winning streak. Exactly. Yeah, keep it up. That's what we need to do. Where are we here? Top Shelf says McCabe or Hines. 170 Gun says McCabe. Yeah, for left back tomorrow. I mean, obviously Taylor Hines came in at half time the other night, played well. Katie McCabe seems to have that left back slot pretty much nailed down. Who would you go for tomorrow?
As I said, Katie had problems with Alicia Thompson, especially in the first half. So difficult. I think Katie will start. If she's not injured or if she feels ready, then she will be the first choice. But you have to monitor it, and if she has again such problems, then make a sub at halftime. She's the more experienced player for such a big game. So that's what speaking for Katie.
See, what I would do is I would play Katie tomorrow against Tottenham, but I would play Taylor Hines against Chelsea because of that Alicia Thompson issue. McCabe's not going to be able to defend her any better, I don't think. So I would put Taylor Hines in there from the start. So I'd play Katie McCabe tomorrow and Taylor Hines on Wednesday. That would be my choice. But I'm not Renee, and Renee makes these decisions, and she knows better because she keeps winning matches. Chelsea, I think the difference is your midfield. Cuthbert and Walsh are just too slow. And you keep finding those passes into Russo, which I hate. Those quick transitions are exactly what caused problems. Yeah, I mean, that seemed to be what happened the other night, didn't it? I mean, I thought we did move the ball a lot quicker in the final third than what Chelsea did. That's why we maybe took our chances, and Chelsea had a lot of the ball but didn't really create much, did you, with the ball that you had, really. I think it'll be a different game on Wednesday, but yeah, that will be key to midfield, obviously. You know, I mean, I thought that, Chelsea put the 5 in there to try to gain the extra body to make a difference, but it didn't really, did it? Because Leslie Russo, like you said, kept picking up them. She kept dropping, didn't she, in those little spaces, getting the ball, and that it was good. And hopefully Wednesday will be similar. Greg says, this is going to be a great end to the season. Looking forward to the Champions League parade. Let's not get too carried away, Greg, because there's a few big games to come yet before we get that far. Let's be honest. But it's certainly looking good for us at the minute. We're building momentum at the right time, aren't we? That's all you can do. I actually said the other night, and I watched on Andreas, I don't know if you agree with this. I actually think right now, as a team, we look better as a team than we did at this time last year. I thought last year we were playing well this time last year. We were scoring lots of goals, but we were more like, I don't know, apart from the odd game, I think now we actually look a lot better team in overall as a team. Did you think that as well or not?
We found our feet right in February or now in March, but are we better than last year? I remember a lot of very good performances at the Emirates last season when we scored 4 or 5 goals every game.
Yeah, and what weren't they more down to individual brilliance rather than great team play? We seem to be we look more solid as a team, I think, now. We're not relying on individual brilliance. We're relying on great team play. Whereas last year, it seemed we scored a lot of goals, but a lot of them were like individual moments, weren't they?
Yeah, but better than last year? Don't think so. But yeah, you can't compare it. Or it counts. Football is always a game that just for the moment. You can only take the players that are ready, and you can't say we have a fantastic squad. No, it counts who is fit, who is not injured right at the moment, and then it's a game of results. If you get the results, then everything is good. You can play fantastic football. You can have 80% ball position, and you lose 1-0, and then everybody says, "Oh, you are such a bad team, or you are in such a bad form right now." So yeah, difficult to compare.
It is difficult to compare. I mean, it was more an observation from the game against Chelsea. What I thought was, out of possession, we just look so good. And I don't know whether it's because obviously Renee's been there a lot longer now. She's had a year more to work with the players, to coach her ideas into the team. And I don't know, I just thought without the ball in particular, I thought the other night, I was really impressed with how we looked without the ball the other night. I think last season, with the ball, we were fantastic, but maybe off the ball, our off the ball stuff wasn't as good. And, you know, we were conceding more goals. We looked a bit more open. This season, we look much more compact without the ball. We seem to have a lot better shape. And it's maybe taken a little bit away from our free-flowing, attacking, goal-scoring from last season a little bit. But I just think we're more solid as a team. And, you know, a little bit similar to what the men's team have done. If you're solid at the back and you don't concede many goals, you've got a great chance of winning games with the attacking players that we've got. And I just think we look at a more solid team as a unit, as opposed to, it's not as exciting at times, maybe. I agree with that. But I just think we look off the ball, we look a better team. And I think that's what's going to win us, take us to that next level, maybe the rest of this season and next season, is the fact that, I mean, look, we've lost the least amount of games in the WSL. You know, we're on the verge of the semi-final of the Champions League because we're difficult to beat. Now we're a difficult team to beat. And I think last season we were a bit more open, apart from the odd game. I don't know. It's just, I've noticed it recently, off the ball is when I think we look better. John says, Rich, we definitely look to be on form now. Last year we had to really fight for every game. This year it looks like we're winning games more easily because I think it's the shape of the team. I think it's our off the ball stuff. That's what it looks like to me.
It's more. It's more that we are playing a system this season. Last season, I agree with you, it was individual quality. And this season, it's more the system. And you can change players, and we still play the same system, and it works. No matter which player comes in. You see Emily Fox or Smilla Holmberg, Taylor Hines or Katie McCabe. So, or play Leslie in the 10 or in the 9, or start Stina. It's always, you can rotate the players, but the system is the same. And this is maybe something Renee has installed in her second year now, that no matter who plays, it's the same system and the players fit in. Maybe that's the difference to last season.
Yeah, I think it is. I think it definitely is, and you can see that it's maybe a result of the fact, you know, Renee's been there a bit longer now. She's had more time to work with the players. She's had more time to get these ideas across, and it's obviously working because, you know, we look a very difficult team to beat now. I feel last season you always felt that we were going to concede a goal. You know, we said it plenty of times, didn't we? That, you know, a lot of times we concede a corner, we're going to concede a goal, or we'll always seem like we were going to let in a stupid goal. We don't seem to be doing that as often now. You know, we're a lot more difficult to break down. Hedgehead says there, I don't know if this is a wild take to others, but I think we're the best footballing team in the country. Even earlier this season, when we weren't getting results over the line, we still look good. No, I mean, are we the best footballing team? I'm not sure. At the moment, we look. What we are at the minute is we're very, very difficult to break down. We're solid at the back. We're controlling the games in midfield a lot better than we were, and we've got a goal threat in us as well. And all those things combined make you a very good team, and that's what we are. Are we the best footballing team in the country? I don't know. I enjoy watching us, but I don't know. Selma says, do you think Russo can end the season as the UEFA top goal scorer ahead of Payor? Russo's currently on 8 and Payor's on 6. Well, she's 2 ahead at the minute. Depends how far we go in the competition, I guess, in relation to Barcelona. If we go all the way to the final, then yes, I think she's got a good chance of getting it. We shall see. Andreas says, Man City best this year. Well, they're top of the league. Do they play the best football? I don't know. I've not maybe watched enough of them to be able to say, actually. Well, so if we win the Champions League in 2026, Bon Matty will come to Arsenal. If we win the Champions League in 2026, 2 years running, then I don't know. I think every single one of them players should get a statue at the Emirates, quite honestly. Renee should have one as well. That would be what we need. Back-to-back Champions Leagues. Come on, that would be incredible, wouldn't it? That would be incredible. But anyway, long way to go. We haven't even beaten Chelsea properly yet. No. Let's get that job done first, and we can start thinking a little bit further ahead. And of course, you know, Lyon may get knocked out. They lost, didn't they, to Wolfsburg the other night? They'll probably turn it around. Who knows? But, you know, it could be Wolfsburg again in the semi-final. Yeah. We've played them before in the semi-final, haven't we? it's all looking exciting at the minute, isn't it? Which is what it's all about. Anyway, it's been a great show. I really enjoyed it. It's been positive again. Lots of good things to talk about. Lots of great performances, great results, some great goals we've seen over the last week or so. Let's hope there's a lot more to come over the next couple of few days coming up, because it's going to be good. So I'll be back tomorrow, of course, for the game. It's 5:30 kickoff, so join me for that. It is going to be good. And I'll be here, of course, Wednesday for the Chelsea game as well. So that's going to be good. And then, of course, next Friday, we will be here for... Are you here next Friday, or are you flying over?
No, I'm at home next Friday.
All right, okay. So we'll be here next Friday as normal. Greg says we're the best team to watch. Just compare the crowds. Well, we'll get the biggest crowd. I mean, I think we're the best team to watch, but I don't watch every game of every other team. You know, I watch when they play us. I watch in certain other games. So I don't know. I think we're a great team to watch, but yeah, let's say we're the best team. So that will do, won't it? Andreas says, no, yeah, good night. Thank you for joining us all the way from Sweden, of course. Been a good week for Sweden, hasn't it? Greg says another 8 goals in the next 2 games. That'd be good, wouldn't it? We just scored 8 this week. Let's get another 8. That'd be nice. But I'm not quite sure it will be, unless maybe 6 of them are against Tottenham. Maybe then it's possible. But we'll see. Anyways, it's been good. Obviously, Andreas, I know you had a few problems at the beginning, but you managed to solve them. We've managed to get the show done, which was good. It was good to have you with us all the way from live from London, live from Finsbury Park in London, which is good. Have you enjoyed being on the show in the end once you got your gremlin sorted out?
Yeah, it was great to take part of the show. And yeah, I'm sorry for the beginning. It was just like the team started against Chelsea, a sloppy start from me, but I don't know what happened. I made 3 restarts, and somehow it worked. And yeah, I'm glad that I could be part of the show. And yeah, it was fantastic talking about all this. Enjoyed it very much. Thank you.
No, it's been good. It has been good. A good week. As I said, City don't look better. They just have Bunny Shaw. Yeah, I mean, you know, Bunny Shaw, isn't she? Let's be honest. But you know, we've got some good strikers as well, haven't we? Let's not worry about that. But it's been a good show as always. Thank you guys for your comments and for joining us. Chelva says, waiting on Payet to drop a hat-trick against Madrid at Camp Nou. Well, yeah, it could do, but you know, maybe Leslie Russo might score a hat-trick on Wednesday. Hey, that'd be good, wouldn't it? That would put her in control, then, wouldn't it? But I'll be happy if she gets 1 goal on Wednesday, because that might be the 1 goal that gets us through. It's been a good show, so thank you guys for joining us. Thank you for all your comments. It's been really, really good. I say I'll be back tomorrow for the big game. Don't forget to tune in to Andreas's vlog, which will probably be up on the channel on Sunday. So that's going to be good. So you don't want to miss that. And obviously look back on the others if you haven't seen them yet, because they're really good as well. So make sure that you do join us for that. I'll be here Wednesday as well for the Chelsea game. Greg says, night, we'll have a great weekend. Looking forward to the next, the best show around. Now, thank you very much, my friend. Obviously, the vlogs have been better since your appearances regularly in them as well, which is always good. So let's make sure we keep that going as well. So, yeah, thanks to you guys for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Ryan says, only show. Well, it's not the only show. It's probably the best one. I agree with that. It is the best one. But, yeah, it's not the only one. But on a Friday night, it's the best one to watch. So join us tomorrow for the game. It's going to be good. And thanks to Andreas, as always. Thank you to you guys. And enjoy your Friday evening. The weekend officially starts now. And what a weekend it's going to be. A North London derby tomorrow. We are going to enjoy that, aren't we? And we're going to win. Of course we are, because we're Arsenal, and we always do. So make sure you join me for that. Take it easy, guys. We will see you tomorrow. Come on, you Gunners. Let's do it.